This is Dolany TV, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of Edmonton Oilers discussion here on the channel today. And while we've got ourselves a game at 7 o'clock, the first official preseason battle of Alberta at Rogers Place this evening, September 20th. Yes, sirree, 7 p.m. start, as I said. I'll have my live stream up. Yes, I will. You can count on that for sure. And then, of course, you can catch the game on EdmontonOilers.com, their Twitter, and their Facebook. But with that aside, there's a little bit more pressing news that I'm late getting to that I'd prefer to talk to rather than a pregame, what would you call it, a pregame preview. You know what I'm talking about. I've had a long day, so we're going to try and make this as clean of a video as possible, but I'm sure we're going to have some mess ups along the way. So buckle up, stay tuned, and let's get to the news about the Oilers, the Oilers players sent down to Bakersfield today. Because essentially, guys, we know how terrible of an effort it was last night against the Canucks, right? I harped on it in the game review. I harped on it in the live stream after it was about 2-1. It was just ugly, crap it away, and really a lot of guys did not go out there and earn themselves jobs. So I think what I've heard is a couple of guys have reported that 8 of the guys from last night, you guys in the comments section I'm talking about, were not Oilers by the time I checked Twitter this morning. They were sent down to Bakersfield. So those Oilers are, right now, if you want to hit that subscribe button, guys, very much so would appreciate that. Let's keep that going. But with that aside, let's go talk about these Oilers not being on the NHL training camp roster anymore. They are Josh Curry, Joseph Gambardella, Keegan Lowe, Brad Malone, Tyler Benson, Cameron Hebig, Caleb Jones, Koral Maksimov, Cooper Moroni, Ryan McLeod, Anthony Peluso, thank goodness, Dmitry Samorukov, and Dylan Wells. So now, what does that leave us? That leaves the Oilers 33 players remaining at training camp. 3 goaltenders, Smith, Koskinen, Starrett, and then you've got 11 defensemen. We all know there's a lot of combinations in play, and then 19 forwards. So essentially, you've got 33 players. That means the Oilers have to either send 10 more players to Bakersfield, trade up a few players and send 8 or 9 players to Bakersfield, or some combination of 10 players have to be trimmed off the roster over the course of the next 4 preseason games for the Edmonton Oilers. One note out of Dave Tippett today is Yurko looks better than Nygaard. Again, adjustments. Same with Cave over Haas so far. That's kind of Dave Tippett saying what it is, but it is the adjustment to the NHL in which both players have to make. So potentially they will look great over the rest of camp. And tonight, Bertasov gets his chance to play, so he's one of those 19 forwards there, right? So that's 3 of them there. There's 16 other ones. We know about Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Ron Nugent-Hopkins, James Neal, Zach Kassian, Alex Chiasson, Jujhar Khaira. I can list them all, but we don't need to. We know pretty much the group that is at camp. What you do need to know still is Evan Bouchard is still in Edmonton Oilers camp. Ethan Bear is still in Edmonton Oilers camp. And so is Brandon Manning. Please just say we're playing him to get him a contract somewhere else. Somebody take him for a 7th. That's all I got to say. I know I'm not a big fan, and he could do wonderful things for us this year, but guys, get the Peter Chiarelli stuff off the table, please. That would just be nice. So right there, all right, we've broken it down, but what we need to talk about is these players, Josh Curry, Joseph Gambardella. Guys, these 2 leading off the waivers list for assignment to the Condors. Obviously, you look at these 2 guys, who you don't see here is Patrick Russell. Patrick Russell, the lone, real, well-rounded, full player standout from that game against Vancouver last night. Josh Curry, Joseph Gambardella fill similar roles, right? A more veteran rookie type player coming in there, getting the crash and bang going, a little bit of speed to the game, and right, change the dynamic of the Oilers. And that's what all 3 of them did last year. Josh Curry, Joseph Gambardella, don't kid me if you don't think these 2 guys aren't the first or second call-up from the AHL this year. These guys are 100% there. Keegan Lowe, there's really no shock. He struggled against Vancouver, but that's not the reason he was getting sent to the AHL. Don't think for a second he had a shot at the NHL roster. This guy was the captain of the Bakersfield Condors who went to the second round of the AHL playoffs this past year. So that's why he's back in Bakersfield. Brad Malone, guys, I know Dave Tippett was kind of high on him, but after that goofy play on that penalty kill face-off, and he's not of value to the Oilers roster considering what other talent we have in camp right now. Then you've got Tyler Benson. Tyler Benson had a few standout plays in the rookie game, but didn't go out there and dominate, right? He didn't go light the world on fire in the rookies games. No Oiler did. Absolutely no Edmonton Oiler went out there and lit the rookie games on fire. Fair to say, fair to say. Now you've got Cameron Hebig. Again, same thing, didn't go light him out. And let's go back to Tyler Benson. I didn't finish my point there. What I should say about Tyler Benson is the simple fact he didn't even do anything really of substance in the preseason either. Caleb Jones, last night, tough go really for the defense all around. It really sucks to me to see Caleb Jones not one of the last cuts of the defense for camp or one of the last players to make the squad. It really sucks. I'm high on Caleb Jones, but I think one last thing is to see him finish that development in Bakersfield and be, again, one of the earliest call-ups for this team on the defensive side of the game. Koral Maksimov, no shocker here. Guys, Koral Maksimov, not ready to be an NHL player right now, and simple enough, get him back to Bakersfield, let him get a first camp under his belt there, and let him work his way up the organization. Cooper Moroni, guys, this is perhaps one of the shockers because we expected Moroni to really push for that fourth, third line center role, and especially early on it looked like he might, and then really, you know what, he scored a goal last night, but that was the only time I really noticed him at all. Ryan McLeod, same thing, had a couple dynamic plays last night, but it's sad what kind of passes for dynamic in last night's game, to be honest with you. Anthony Peluso, I've already given you my opinion on that 100 times over. There's no value in having Anthony Peluso on the Edmonton Oilers. Guys, considering what other talent we need in this lineup to have a chance at the playoffs, there is really no value in Anthony Peluso unless you use him the same way the Flames did last year. Call him up to the NHL to fight Milan Lucic the first game. If you want to do that, go ahead. But honestly, the review of that fight against Lucic in the Saddle Dome, pathetic. Pathetic. Absolutely. And then you've got Dmitry Samorukov. Guys, I can tell you as plain as day as you know, beat defensively, not that great offensively in the NHL caliber yet, so let him go enjoy Bakersfield, let him hone his talent. It's going to be a stacked blue line, stacked forwards, they're going to be dynamic. Let them do their thing down there, let them grow. And Dylan Wells, well, you need two to tango, so Stuart Skinner went down the other day, now it's Dylan Wells' turn, so that is what it is. So that is your Oilers news for the day. Now what you need to know, what I need to tell you right now is kind of what I know about who's playing based on the Oilers Twitter sphere. And Oilers out for a morning skate with Nuge and Leon among the group. So it sounds like both will play. Confirmed Kazian will be in. Bush is back in. Bouchard, that is. Bertasov is in. He will play. And then I've already talked about Jack Michael's tweet. And Leon will play with Kazian and Nygaard. So yeah, that makes sense. And then what else do we have? Bouchard working on his poise, and some of today's roster assignments we'll have to hear from Dave Tippett, but I don't have time for that this evening because I have to do a lot of stuff before the stream tonight. And with a pared down roster and 4 exhibition games, the Oilers get things going tonight against the Calgary Flames, and man, that is stacked up. So how your lineup shakes out, I'll get this right here for you. I guess we'll use this as a game preview. We'll do all in one. I was hoping to do 2 videos, but screw it. You know what? We don't have time for it today, right? We don't have that time. And I don't know what Calgary's throwing out there. We don't need to worry. Connor McDavid's not in the lineup. September 20th Oilers. There we go. Let's get it in here, guys. Sorry, pardon me. You know how I do it. On the fly, hot changes. Cat's wailing like she's dying. And Buddy's just calling me, so I'll finish this up right away here and we'll be good to go. And bang, I'll read this lineup off and I'll get you that and we'll be out of here. So the lineup, Nygaard, Draisaitl, Kassian, Bertisov, Nugent, Hopkins, Gagner. What could be our second line this year? Kara, Sheehan, Archibald, Granlund, Haas, Patrick Russell again. Nurse, Larson, Legason, Bear, Manning, or Legason, Bouchard, Manning, Bear, Koskinen, Starrett. There you go, guys. Go. I got to answer that phone call, so unfortunately I'm going to cut this short. But guys, come back for the live stream tonight. It's going to be a good one. Lots of Flames fans in there, I expect, as well. I'm Tyson. This is Stolany TV. I will catch you in the next one.